have a few minutes of your time, and then we'll get started with the rest of our meeting, okay?
A few minutes of your time and maybe some of your money. You know, with Ally mentioning that we're coming near the end of May, for our employee-owned and driven employee appreciation fund, that means we're through 7 months of our collection year because we end at the end of October. And then, of course, we give money to the hourly employees in November. So I just want to remind people that we're along the way. I know many people do their giving in the coming months versus the first months of the year. And, you know, we're probably in a place where there's not that much to talk about now, but I hope as each month goes on, I can come up here and talk about a big number, and we'll be doing fine. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Now we can start Lewis is here.
All right. So before, we're going to do some things a little bit different again this month. So I'm going to highlight a few things, and then we're going to have our very own, yours truly, Chef Lee, is going to be coming up to talk about a few things. So he's going to have the floor. But I have to start off. So everybody's aware, we have this putting green, and we do a tournament, residents against the staff. And of course, we've lost every tournament. The residents always win. We've lost every time. Even though we keep trying to talk the talk, we're going to win, it never happens. So then we had this brilliant idea. Let's try our luck at cornhole. We have some awesome cornhole stars. Look at this shirt. It's amazing. Why I lose at cornhole. My teammate. Well, yes, that could be. The bags, the board, the wind, my fault. Only 1% is his fault, right? So, anywho, but we got a little smarter this time because with cornhole tournament, we collaborated so that we had residents and staff together. And that way we had a little bit better chance of winning. And some of us did win. So it was a great time had by all. We'd love to do it again. We thank you to our cornhole folks for your gracious and patience with us less experienced folks. But it was an awesome time. Great smiles. Discovery at Home provided some awesome pizza. And we had wings, and it was a great time for staff. More staff participated with us. So just a few fun pictures there I wanted to share. And also, we had a great Mother's Day set up. I wanted to highlight some of this. And we highlight these things on Facebook, on our social media, to let everybody else know. So if your family has Facebook, tell them your primetime celebrity at Aston Gardens and to check you out and tell them that you'll mail them your autograph if they'd like. Okay?
For a price.
That's right, for a price. So it was a beautiful time. We had a great turnout. Thank you, ladies, for coming and participating with us. And then I'm so disappointed I missed the Strawberry Festival. I heard it was fabulous and overly attended, maybe just a little bit, maybe. But I heard it was an outstanding turnout, so now we know strawberries every month to get the great turnout. Strawberry Creation League, here it comes. But with that being said, it was brought up at Resident Council, and I did just want to address it. I'm super excited that I've got some feedback coming, that we have that much participation. It's great to see everybody come together and be engaged, but at the same token, we are limited with our space. So moving forward with events, we may have to look at, I may have to use that other microphone.
You sound
Is this one?
You sound okay.
That sound okay? I don't know, it's not, it's in and out. Yeah, now it's out.
She says they're working.
What about now? No, still fuzzy. Still fuzzy.
Tuesday
No, no, maybe, okay, we'll try. So we are gonna, maybe look at additional sign-up sheets for bigger events, things that we may be concerned about with capacity, so that we can kind of manage that a little bit better and maybe monitor that so that everyone feels safe and we can get in and out of the rooms necessarily. I know we have walkers and various things, and you need those too, and we want you to have those, but we want to also make sure it's a safe environment. So we're going to be looking into those things and how we can manage that differently, but so that everybody can still enjoy and be in on the fun, excuse me. All right. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Lee. He's got some great news to share with you about a competition that Discovery's doing nationwide. He participated in that this week, so I'm going to let him kind of highlight on that and a few other things for the culinary team.
Thank you, Allie. Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Good. So, as Allie said, we are in the middle of the DMG Top Chef Showdown. So there is 90 chefs, including myself, that are competing against each other nationwide, from East Coast to West Coast. And we just entered into round one. Round one was Mystery Basket Showdown. And as you can see, the ingredients that we have listed over here are going to be all found in this dish that you see on the left side. This is the dish that we created. For those who came out and did the judging for us, thank you so much for attending that. It was initially supposed to be for leadership, but most of my leadership does not eat rack of lamb. So I last minute started pulling people from the crowds and trying to get somebody in just to come in and do our judging. So thank you for the guys to jump in at such a last minute to come in and do this tasting. The mystery ingredients that we had to use throughout the dish were marshmallow, yeah, figure that one out, sun-dried tomato, bell pepper, and loose leaf tea. So what I concocted was a mint-crusted rack of lamb with a marshmallow sweetened red wine demi-glaze. And then I took the bell pepper and the sun-dried tomato, I created a romesco sauce, and then that was the base of my risotto that you can see underneath the rack of lamb. So that was the incorporation of those 4 ingredients. Tomorrow afternoon, the 28th at 3 p.m., we will be finding out who moves on. There will be 10 selected from the East Coast and 10 selected from the West Coast to move into round 2. Round 2 will be held in June, and then those that move from round 2 into the final round in round 3, which I believe will be held in July, those participants will be flown out to Houston, Texas, to Cisco's Test Kitchen, where we'll be competing face-to-face, head-to-head in a final battle. So hopefully we can get there. I'm very excited about doing this. I love doing competitions, and we haven't really gotten a chance to do too much here in the last couple of years, so I'm really excited about this one. So wish us luck, and hopefully we can advance all the way to the final round and win. We won. Baby, win, baby, win. All right, new menus. Who's ready for a new menu? Everyone. All right, so I've got some great news for you guys. We already have completed our always available menu, which is the left side of your menu in the dining room, and we've completed our tavern menu as well. We'll be rolling both of those out on the 2nd of June. So we're excited to have that. For the tavern menu, obviously we will not be open on Monday, so the 3rd of June for the new tavern menu. We've also completed our daily cycle menu, which is your daily menu on the right side of the page. We're just tightening those things up. There's a few back office things we have to do as far as putting it into our computer system so the servers will be able to order properly, and then we'll have to start working on our Uniguest touchdown screens to make sure everything lines up with what we've got coming. So we look forward to rolling out those for you guys for this month. So look forward to that, June 2nd and June 3rd for the always available and for the tavern, and then by the end of June we should have the cycle menu up and running, and so more to come on that, and hopefully that's some good news for you guys. For to-go orders, we have a new process. We're going through some things in back office as well, and we found that we want to go in a different direction with how we're doing our deliveries and doing our pickups. I know it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. Your stuff is just kind of set out there for pickups, or it's just left at your door. Maybe somebody rang the doorbell, maybe somebody knocked. Sometimes people don't hear that. So now what we're doing is we're making sure that everybody signs for those, so we're making sure that people are receiving those meals. sure that meal's getting to you. And this is the best way for us, or best practice for us to be able to keep track of that. So I'm sure some of you who are regular pickuppers that come and pick up their dinner order from the dining room, I've seen that we've put a little basket out with a sign-up sheet or a sign and a pen. We're gonna be getting a nicer looking sign to put out there for you. And we are working on a way to get it staffed to where there's somebody actually there to be able to pass it off and sign it off for you to do that. And then those who get delivery to their doors on a regular basis, some of you guys might notice here in the last week, we've been waiting for you to come and answer the door. Those deliveries go out between 3 and 4 p.m. every afternoon. So please make sure that if you are someone who does a regular delivery, make sure that you're there between that time frame. I get it, we've got doctor's appointments, or we might be visiting somebody else, but we do want to make sure that food gets to you safely, make sure that we're not putting it down on the floor for possible any kind of intrusion to happen to the bags, and make sure you're getting your order. We will leave the bag at the door, and we will take a picture of that bag to make sure that we've got kind of a verification for ourselves. But I highly, highly recommend you please, if you are doing a regular delivery to your door, to please be there present to accept the bag and so you can sign that shit for us. Continental breakfast. I know we like to come down and we like to, help ourselves to some pastries and to boiled eggs and to the things that we have left out there. There's a lot of us that come down a little bit later in the day because we might not be, early birds necessarily to come down at 7 o'clock. And there's a lot of items that are not left there on the buffet, or just not available anymore, even though we've produced multiple amounts of those every single morning. So we want to remind people to please do not treat the Continental as kind of your own market or your grocery store. I know we laugh, but at the end of the day, it's affecting the entire community. Those that come down, and we don't want to call anybody out, but we are very aware of some of those residents who come down and use it as an opportunity to go shopping, taking. And that's a conversation we're gonna have specifically with those caregivers, but for our residents, I really, really, really would like you guys to think of your neighbors. Please be considerate to your neighbors. We have a sign out, and I know it's not fully attended or fully staffed and serviced in the mornings, and we only have 2 servers, and it's hard for them to be able to monitor and police that buffet, but please, 2 items per person. When we see that we're bringing in 40 pounds of oranges on a Monday, and we have 12 oranges after the end of that one service, where are those oranges going? Okay, I get 40, 80, I get 120 pounds of bananas delivered on every truck order. That's every other day. I get 120 bananas delivered, okay? Between yesterday's breakfast or Continental and this morning's Continental, we have 1.5 cases of bananas left. So that means that's roughly 50 pounds, almost 60 pounds of bananas that have exited our dining room. And I know we don't have 300 people coming to Continental every day. So please, I ask you, I beg of you, to please be mindful of your neighbors. We continue to get complaints about us running out of things, and we are doing our part to make sure that there is food being produced, but we cannot just continuously stock something when we have a hard trend number for what we put out. So if we put out 180 pastries and somebody takes 12, 13 of those, you've just taken pastries from your neighbor, okay? So please, guys, I really want to drive this home, because we don't want to have to get to a point to where we have to do this and monitor to where everything is put behind the glass and somebody's having to serve it to you, okay? And now we're having to do a full-on policing of that, okay,
Or
guys?
dine-in only.
Or a dine-in only, yes.
Yep.
That's it on that one, okay?
Yep, you're good.
That's it?
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much for your time. We have a question over here.
I'm sorry, I'm late, I came in. We had talked about a new menu, is it coming or?
Yes.
We already spoke with that. Yeah, we got it coming.
Okay.
Yep.
When is it coming?
We've got it coming in June.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible to put the other menu, the tavern menu, and the alternate menu on the website?
on the website, on Uniguest. That's above my pay grade. I don't understand how the system works. I'm sure that's a question that could be directed to possibly Jasmine to see if she can get it put on to Touchdown for the rotations and on the Uniguest. If I can let her dig deeper into that, and then we'll have an answer for you for that, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
On the Uniguest site, I don't know whether this is something we can control, but for those of us who are,
Ladies and gentlemen, if we just get a moment of quiet so I can hear.
for those of us who have vision problems, it's very hard to expand the menu to see in advance what's on the menu.
Again,
On
this
the-
is kind of out of our realm. This would be
Okay.
something,
Software.
yeah, this is software thing, not necessarily something that we set up and design.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Lee. Good luck. We look forward to hearing about the results tomorrow. See if we're moving on with the showdown. All right. We're going to get into housekeeping and maintenance next. So I want to just highlight something for you. And Jim and I were discussing this, and he brought up a great point. Let's just use the last 30-ish days and give some real numbers. I want to just kind of highlight how hard our team is working in the midst of everything else that Allie sends his way and their way. So in the time frame of April 28th through May 26th, we had over 360 work orders requested by residents only. Okay? And then, in addition to those work orders that needed attention, they have life safety and preventative maintenance tasks that they're expected to do every day, every week, every month. So there was, in addition to those resident work order requests, there was a total of 66 additional things that they have to do without question. That has to be done. Okay? And on top of that, they also have to do unit turns and get apartments rent ready for sales as people move out. And we got to keep that process going, right? So then in addition to those, they were doing that too. And we also had to keep our vehicles up and going and make sure that we had the maintenance scheduled, and those preventative maintenance items were taken care of on 3 of our vehicles as well, just in this amount of time frame. So I just wanted to reiterate, this is a lot. And we're kind of in a little bit of a pickle with some staffing challenges, and they still made it happen. So I want to say thank you to Jim and his team, because they are working hard. They're trying their best to keep up as best they can. And I appreciate what they're doing and trying to keep all of us happy, including my long laundry list as well. So, highlight for that. And as Jim would say, but Allie, can we talk about those 1,200 emails? In addition, yeah.
It's true, it's very true.
All those emails that come in and phone calls. We won't count those. All right. So I want to talk about some upcoming ongoing projects we've been working on and highlight some of the things that we've done. Because we want, but I also think it's important to share with you what we've done, right? So we're going to continue that right now. We started working on refreshing the lobbies and elevator corridors, touching up paint, hallways, trying to really start with those first impressions. It's important. So we've started that. We've completed it so far in the clubhouse. Assisted living first floor, we've got our memory care touched up. And building 3, the front area we worked on. I showed y'all pictures last month. Brom was working on that for us. We're going to continue building by building. It's a process, okay, but we've started. We also are including with that, with Maria's help and her vendors, we are scheduling a carpet cleaning for each building, all the hallways, and the grout on the first floor. So we, actually, building 3, because we've already started the painting in there, now we're gonna move to the floors. So building 3, you're up first. We actually have you scheduled for tomorrow. So, They will start around 7 p.m. It's gonna take them probably till midnight or maybe a little later depending on the process. We're gonna see how it goes, but we need to kinda do it more in the evening time, so hopefully less traffic so that we're not at risk. We don't want people walking on the wet carpet and having a fall, but they've gotta have time to do it. You may hear a little bit of noise with the cleaning equipment, but we need to do it during a time where there's less traffic and less disruption. So you may be a little inconvenienced for a little while, but in order to get this done, we have to, okay? And then once we're done with building 3, we'll schedule another building, but it does take time and we have to budget it out, okay? So that's why we're having to move it a little slower, but that is, we're starting there and we're gonna see how it turns out and we'll go from there for the next building. I do wanna talk about this vacuuming of the hallways, cause it's been mentioned a few times at resident council. And I wanna just reiterate with this housekeeping, okay? Our housekeepers provide cleaning weekly, okay? Each day they're assigned a different building to clean. So when they're there cleaning, they do come out into the hallways and they vacuum the hallway in the area in which you live. They're only doing that once a week. I don't have the manpower, nor are we set up that way. Any of the Aston Gardens are set up that way to vacuum on a weekly or on more than a weekly basis. We don't have that manpower. We've never been set up that way. So I want to make sure you understand that you won't have that, but once a week. Okay? The schedule, we're also now working on the annual tree trimming. So we tentatively have that scheduled for June 9th. We know that we're getting ready to move into rainy season, so it's all tentative. I'm not gonna have these guys out there with it lightning and storming, but that's tentatively starting that process June 9th. Okay? And then we talked about this last month. I just wanna revisit it. But as you go down the hallways in each of the buildings, we have those light bulbs, those sconces at on the walls. Some light bulbs weren't working at all. They were mismatched colors, right? And I can't stand that. I hate the soft and the cold. So we had, because the light bulbs we were using went no longer available to be ordered, they discontinued, we're having to order new. But we're trying to recycle what is working and trying to save where we can. So we have completed buildings 7 and 6, all 3 floors, and now we're gonna start moving into building 5. Okay? As this one has now died as well. Hello? Okay. So we'll continue the light bulb. It does take time. Okay? That's an additional task outside of all the other work order tasks that are in there. Okay? This is an alley request on top of your all's request. So, but this is on the list as a priority. We are aware and we're working building by building. Okay?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Ally, who is responsible for, if you have, empty apartments and they're not being cleaned, how far are the vacuum cleaners supposed to go outside of my apartment, for instance? Are they supposed to do the whole hallway, or are they just doing outside the apartments that are being, the residents are in?
They're going down the hallways as they're cleaning and going to apartments. 'Cause
No, it doesn't happen, no. No, it's just put in front of your.
they come out and they do in front of yours and then they go to the next. Okay. This microphone is still acting up. So Maria can look into that more clearly and make sure that that's understood. Because the walkway, the whole carpet is expected to be vacuumed.
Thank you.
it's hard to see back there with the sun blaring in, Margaret. Okay. So just a few more things here with the projects ongoing we've been working on. We had almost got the terrace completed last month. It is officially done this month. That was over in our assisted living. It looks beautiful. It's been painted and it's a great new space now. We're still working on some of these other items. They're still in progress and on our list. And we're hoping that we'll get to these moving in June. We were able to complete the bench seats being lifted in the putting green area, and we also did add some cushions to the gazebo. I don't know if anyone has had an opportunity to check those out yet, but hopefully that'll improve the seating area in the gazebo.
Do you have completed, or all the benches, are the putting greens supposed to be lifted?
No,
There's only two.
only the ones on the side, the ones in the front, we were not lifting.
Well, the ones on one side, far side of the building have not been lifted. The blocks are there behind it. but
Okay.
They've not lifted the bench.
Okay, on the other side. Okay, so we can get to that.
To slow people down.
Okay. So the bids for the canopy resurfacing and pole painting, we are putting that officially on hold. It is extremely more costly than we were anticipating, and we're not going to be able to budget that right now. So that is being put on hold. The bids for the CapEx roof. So let's talk about that for a minute. We do have some progress. We picked out the tile color, and it has been ordered. They tell me it's about an 8 to 12 week lead time to get the supplies, and then they'll be putting a schedule together of when they're going to start and which building they're going to start on first and kind of work their way around. As we get closer to understanding more of those details, we will share more information with you, but we were a lot farther now than we were, so that's good news. So we'll have more to come on that. And just to reiterate that the covered parking roofs are a part of the roof project, so that will be taken care of as well. I don't know when they'll get to those, because I think the priority is going to be the buildings first, and then they'll circle back around and do the covered parking, would be my guess.
Ally, how long is that project going to last?
I don't have any ideas. It's going to be on a lot of variables, because now we're going to be dealing with the rainy season.
Several years probably,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we can be positive and think positive and hopeful.
Positive,
Yeah.
Because you can't start this in the rainy season.
They're going to.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
They do roofs all the time, all year long. They will start it. Okay, so now we're gonna, for the bids for the paver removal, so we're still working on that, because there are selected areas that we wanna take the pavers up and put concrete down. We have, sent the radon testing off to see where we are with the baseline, so that is still being tested. We don't have those results yet. As soon as we have those results, we'll then know what next steps may be. So we're still waiting for that. We are fully aware of the elevator certificates being, some have the expirations, we know. We've been working with the elevator companies along the way the whole time. There's new codes, new requirements, new things that we learn about every day that we're having to do to manage that. But the elevator companies are aware. All of the code compliance people are aware. We are working on it, and as soon as everything is where it needs to be, certificates will be back up. But there's no concern there. We're just working through those new expectations and code requirements with everybody involved. Irrigation. So I want to talk about this for a moment. Honestly, the grass looks the best it's looked since I've been here. The extra irrigation is helping. I do get complaints of, oh, it gets me wet when I walk down the sidewalk. Well, I'm sorry. It is too difficult, guys, to manage all of these irrigation zones and to make sure everything is perfect so that you're inconvenienced. The ones that come on in the day, they're on for 10 minutes or less. They're not on for a very long period of time. But they have to be on because we're in such a drought. We need them to be on. So if you have to take a different route, for a little bit, please help us. It's just a little inconvenience. It's not on for days on end, okay? And as soon as rainy season starts, that will dissipate because we won't need the sprinkler systems on as much, so you won't have that inconvenience. But please help us because it's very difficult to try to manage and make sure every sprinkler head is the way it needs to be so that it doesn't get anybody wet. This campus is way too big, okay? And there's way too many areas and way too many zones. And the bids for the window washing. So Maria's been working with some companies. We've already had 2 or 3 out here. One's already said no, they won't touch it. So we have one bid. We're trying to get another to compare. So stay tuned, but we are working on it. But there are companies that are not wanting to help us. And that's their prerogative. So hopefully we'll have more to come and more to update you on this by next month. We just need a little more time to figure out how we're going to proceed with that process. Okay? Now that we're moving into the rainy season and hurricane season and the roof project and everything else, right? Yes?
Why are window washing companies saying they were our business?
Because it's a big project and they're not wanting to take on that extra responsibility. We're a big campus. There's a lot to it. And you know, it's maybe they don't have the manpower. They're having staffing challenges. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into it. We talked about this briefly in the weeklies, but I did want to just bring it up and keep everyone up to date. So we are doing a cane toads roundup. That's what we like to call it. Thank you, Jim. So I've been in Florida since 2017, and I just learned about these a few weeks ago when I was walking around the campus, and my residents enlightened me and educated me. And I appreciate that, because I had no idea. So, every other week, we do have cane toad, I call them specialists, I'm not sure what they're called, cane toad specialists will be here. They come at night, after dark, with their flashlights, and they capture them. They don't kill them on site, they capture them and safely take them to then manage them to sleep. They manage them to sleep, and then they freeze them, okay? But they manage it off-site. The specialists, that's their specialty. But they captured how many the first time? 178 the first night they came. And then they've come back since then. I don't know how many they caught the second time.
No, the second time was to
The second time was
do the toads and the egg.
the toads and the egg hatching was the second time. But the first time they caught 176 of those ugly things. So more to come on that, but they'll be coming every other week. So, that is a added expense we weren't expecting, but it is necessary because it is a pretty large campus. And I did want to talk about one other thing, something to do. I can't remember now. It'll come back to me. This right here in front of me. It's right here in front of me. So in the weekly, some of you noticed and complimented, we put a little article, with Mary Beth's Genius Help. We put a little article together about the recyclable materials, what's acceptable and what's not. Okay? We're going to try to post this in each of the trash rooms as well. I do ask you to read it. You will be educated and learn what you think maybe is, really isn't. It is important to help us. Okay? So please look at that. We're going to post it in the trash rooms as well for extra assistance. Okay? All right, so we have a new hire added to our family here at Aston Gardens with our celebrations team. So Miss Rachel, would you stand up? Yeah, Rachel. Rachel is one of our new part-time team members that just started with us.
And she's an AP
she's a celebration specialist. So we're excited to have her. And then of course we're still have Miss Hannah helping us out part-time as well. So with Hannah and Jasmine and Rachel, we'll be able to get back to weekend hosted activities beginning in June. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, I got to remind everybody, y'all know what tomorrow is? It's a big day. A first ever at Aston Gardens, Pelican Marsh. Our game show. Our very own Happily Ever After game show. Aren't y'all excited? We're going to have so much fun getting to know our married couples. Calling all married couples. Do you really know your spouse? We're going to find out. It's time to put that ultimate love to the test. We're going to see how well you know each other and have some fun along the way. Y'all remember the newlywed game? Now we're going to do the Happily Ever After version. So tomorrow at 3, come on down. It's going to be a lot of fun. Counselors, yes. Nita, can you volunteer to be the counselor? Yeah, just in case there's therapy or counseling needed after the game, Nita's offering up her services. And maybe Pastor Dana, right? Yes, there you go. All right. So let's talk about some of those hosted weekend activities coming in June. And we'll continue to revamp this as we get more input and get more excitement going. And maybe Rachel will have some ideas as well. But we hope that you guys will participate and come on and work with Hannah and Rachel on the weekends. It'll be a lot of fun. And then I just highlighted some awesome things we're doing in June. Highlighted a few of those things. We are still doing our Tipsy Trivia, hosted Tipsy Trivia. That's a lot of fun. You guys come up with some pretty good game names too. We're going to have our Father's Day hangout with pizza and beer. Our summer karaoke series starts off in June. We have some awesome crafts that the girls have designed to put together. Discovery at Home is going to be doing a health talk for us. We've got our Coffee with the Vets. Our next chef demo is coming up June 19th. We're having a summer party kickoff. We've got our famous cocktails and mocktails with Katie. We're doing a scavenger hunt, so that's going to be interesting. More to come on that. We've got our resident karaoke, our book club, and we have a fashion show coming also to Aston Gardens near you. How about that? And our birthday celebrations to end the month. All right, so those are just a few of the highlighted things. Don't forget our recipe club, June 30th. We're changing up the time a little bit. We're going to try it at 10 a.m. and see how that goes for everybody. 10 a.m. Okay? Some other things we're doing for transportation. We got a lot of trips planned. I had to even add extra because I ran out of room. So some of this is combined together, but that's great. We're trying to offer a different variety of things. If you know of other things that are happening in Naples you want to participate in, let us know. Jim's team and Jasmine work together to try to be flexible. So let us know how we can accommodate. But we've got some great trips planned for the month of June. I wanted to shout out to Carrie. Is he here today? We did this last month, but Carrie has a special auto collection, and he allowed a group of us to go. I didn't get to see it, but I plan on it sometime soon. But it was a huge success. We had great feedback. Everybody loved it. It was a great collection. So I just wanted to give a special thank you to Carrie. So if you see him, say thank you for allowing us to come see his collection. We did have some extra new hires this month. We've had a little bit of changeover with some of our staffing and dining, and so we've added on some new team members, as well as in our assisted living. Of course, we have Miss Rachel, and we did also hire a new concierge, Miss Karen. So we're happy to have those additions to the team. I wanted to talk about this real quick. We brought this up last month, and I wanted to make sure Mr. Cooper knew I didn't forget about him. So Jim had reached out to a service for someone to come out and like help check your walkers, your wheelchairs, your brakes, all of those things. We haven't been able to get in touch with the person that we had used once before, so I don't know, maybe he's on an extended vacation or something. But we'll continue to try, but I wanted to make sure we hadn't forgotten. This is on our list to still try to see if we can find someone that's willing to come out and assist us with that from time to time. Okay? One more thing to note, our next town hall is scheduled for June 24th, but we had to move the time up because we have an event planned and we couldn't get the event changed, so we have to move this meeting up. So this meeting next month will start at 1 o'clock instead of the normal time because of that, okay? So I'm letting you know now, but please make sure you pass that along because that is a little different than normal, okay? And then last but not least, my finale. You are way too divine to be living life on the sidelines. We don't live life on the sidelines at Aston Gardens, do we? No, we don't.
I like it.
We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Any other questions? I think we've done some questions along the way, but any other questions? If not, we're going to let you have back your day. Let's have some fun. I can't wait to see y'all tomorrow. Happily ever after. Thank you.
Thank you.